Redditors with disabilities, mental illnesses and chronic illnesses, what do you wish society better understood about your life? I'm not brave or super strong. I'm just someone who was forced into living this way. I have gastroparesis. And people constantly judge my diet. Like, I'm glad you can eat salad, but my body will revolt for days. I just recently learned I have gastroparesis. And the conventional wisdom that a healthy diet consists mostly of whole grains and vegetables is so deeply entrenched in my mind that I'm honestly struggling with my own brain diet shaming me. I have not had to deal with other people seeing what I eat yet, but I'm not looking forward to it. I have 2 roommates, and at first they did not understand. But one day I flipped out on them, and they have been great ever since. I will have to keep the flip out option in mind. Migraines number. It's not just a headache. People think they know what migraines are, but understanding them conceptually and experiencing serious one are 2 wildly different things. I always wonder if what I'm experiencing are actually migraines like I claim, or are just headaches. I think they are migraines, but shorter. Or maybe I get lucky in how they appear compared to other people. For me they almost always express themselves in the same way, whereas headaches can show up in a variety of ways places. I have a massive pain in the same place, and it definitely feels like if I put a knife into my eye that will relieve the pain. I feel like my head splits in 2, as if the left side and right side of my face are not exactly the same. I get feverish and super hot, which makes the pain just worse, but one side of the face gets hotter than the other. I get nauseous and cannot handle light at all, which is why I have expensive blackout curtains. But sounds are no problem unless into excess. Boom boom. Or enough that it stops me from falling asleep. Paracetamol does nothing for me, it feels. The only thing I can do is basically go to sleep and hope I fall asleep fast. I have no troubles while asleep and next day I'm perfectly fine. It has happened a few times I woke up with it the next day, which basically meant I would be in bed the whole day. But that has only happened a few times in my life. It takes 75% of my daily ration of willpower to get out of bed. In fact, if I did not need to attend to bodily functions, most days I would not. Many days I'm quite disappointed I woke up. This resonated. Not in, like, a suicidal kind of way, although I have been there too. And it is not fun. It is more that sleeping is the only break I get from my symptoms. And the thought of having to struggle through a whole day before I can have a break again is daunting even on my good days. Naps can help motivate only 6 hours until a break, instead of 18. But also cause their own problems, like the way they interact with my insomnia, and never being able to 100% commit to a schedule. I'm in pain for most of the time. If I do not do something, or have a sad look doing it, it is not that I'm lazy or grumpy. I literally cannot do a lot of simple tasks on my own. But I still want to function as an independent adult. Being chronically ill is so mentally taxing. I feel restrained by my own body, so it is hard to enjoy even the simple things. Edit. Thank you guys for all the comments. I hope we all feel better someday. This thread made me feel so much better because I know I'm not alone in this, and there are people who actually understand the daily struggles of chronic pain. Lots of love to all of you. There are so many little simple tasks people do every day without realizing they're difficult when you're chronically ill. Stuff as simple as opening a cereal bag, drinking from a cup without spilling, writing by hand, etc. The smallest of things become reminders that you're restrained by your own body. Like you said, some days it's completely demoralizing. Yes, I might be crying over spilled milk, literally, but in the grand scheme of my life it's really not trivial to me. It's a reminder of how much time and independence my disability has stolen from me. Speaking of demoralizing, so I have rheumatoid arthritis. I also have given birth twice, so sometimes I struggle with mild incontinence. I had a bad flare up in my knee recently which made it nearly impossible to bend my leg or bear weight. I also had it in both shoulders, so I could not push my body up at all. I co-slept with my youngest and was nursing him to sleep. He fell asleep, but I needed to pee, so I tried to get up without waking him, but I could barely roll over. Finally get rolled over, but cannot push my body up out of the bed with my arms. cannot use momentum to get up with my legs when one would not bend. I kept trying so hard to just get up without waking him, but then my pelvic muscles started to struggle holding it, and I start leaking, and I still cannot get up. Finally I say duck it to the pain, and start bending my knee in a way it does not want to bend, and putting weight on it. Literally feels like my leg was tearing off. I'm now crying quietly, peeing all over myself, and in a ton of pain as I limp to the bathroom to finish relieving myself. Then I grab a towel to lay on, since I cannot change my sheets while my son is sleeping on them. The whole thing is embarrassing, and I did not want my kids to see I peed all over the bed, so I had to wait till they were not looking to change my sheets. I had never had such a bad flare, and never in my knee. It felt so demoralizing to be in that situation. The rest of the week as my flare was calming down I literally slept with my kid's diaper as a pad in case I could not make it to the bathroom in time again. If it helps any, I have found situations like this to be helpful for my cousin when she stopped using nappies for the first time. Her great aunt has incontinence issues for a similar reason, and it has been a way to show her that it is embarrassing for adults too. It gives them someone who can empathize with them. Just pay attention, doesn't he work? If it did, we wouldn't have to use coping mechanisms and legal math in order to function like a normal human being. Also, please don't take offense if I don't make eye contact. I am not bored or upset at you. I am just bad at looking at people. When I'm anxious I tend to avoid looking at people as a coping mechanism. No idea why. I think it is more related to autism than ADHD. I have both, but it drives my mother insane regardless. Everyone else is too polite to comment, so I have got no idea how it affects them. I wish society better understood how exhausting it is for chronically ill people to engage in normal tasks or activities. I always try to put my best foot forward at work and socially, but of course I need extra downtime before and after in order to be functional. This is typically okay, except for when I spend multiple days with people. Then I commonly am judged my lack of engagement because they get to experience the full me, with most of my life just being rest. This is a constant battle. Even just hanging out with friends is exhausting. People can't grasp the required hours of preparation just to leave the house, or how living with a disability forces you to plan ahead for everything. Before I was in a chair, I loved doing things off the cuff with little to no planning. It's not possible anymore. So, almost anything one could deem a surprise is really disruptive. Just tending my health enough to be baseline okay is a full-time job. Everything and anything else is overtime. People can't understand that unless they have to live it. This is especially bad to get people to understand if it is your mental health, or you otherwise do not have a physical prop like crutches or a wheelchair. The absolute drama I have to go through when I try to explain that I do not have the energy for a dinner party or have to leave major event early. The hurt in some people's eyes because they do not believe you at all. I had the fiance of a friend write a scathing message about not trying to be alone with her future husband all the time because I turned down coming to dinner at their house after a hangout day. Eating disorders aren't beautifully sad. Skinny white teen girl. They are disgusting and ugly and affect everyone. A grown man, a father, a homemaker, the boy in health class hearing about only girls affected by eating disorders, a fat person who struggles to eat or genuinely cannot stop, the line cook who steals food to be peon. They take lives. And bipolar people aren't just insane holes who do all they can to be toxic and manipulative. In fact, most of my energy goes into not being like that. Anorexia also isn't always about weight. In fact, it's usually just a maladaptive coping mechanism to deal with things people can't control. Anxiety, etc. I am sick of people thinking someone that has anorexia or any other eating disorder is just being vain and superficial. Literally has nothing to do with those things in most cases. Exactly. Thank you. Being hearing impaired deaf is more than not hearing people. I miss out on social interactions a lot and feel lonely. People get frustrated with me quickly if I cannot hear them. Don't you have your hearing aid in? I struggle with self-worth and depression because of it. People also think if they shout, it will help. They do not realize if they would slow down, or use different words you might understand. I hate it when you are struggling to hear someone and they say it is not important, when you have trouble hearing everything is important. Stop recommending yoga. Please stop. I'm not a hero for living with this shit. It is hell, and I would not, if I did not have to. Stop saying I'm brave. I have literally no ducking choice. Stop focusing on the negative. Your experience is just unique. And if you think there are good sides to it, screw that. I would trade my mental problems away in a heartbeat. I get where they were coming from. But gosh, toxic positivity is toxic. Additionally, surviving life with disabilities does make you more resilient. The sad thing about it is that it was not your choice. You had to be strong. To quote Dr. House, how strong do you want her to have to be? Yeah, I learned. I grew. But if it did not happen, I would have not needed to. I could have done it later. That some days just getting my body moving to get out of bed is a huge task, but the world waits for no one, so I have to do it anyway. That it is real. I cannot spend my entire life proving my pain tolerance and mental realities to every person who thinks I'm just weak. People don't realize the double-edged sword most of us with invisible disabilities walk on. You rejudged if you mention your symptoms or condition too often. That makes you attention-seeking or self-victimizing or weak. You should tough it out. You should deal with it alone. In private. You should refrain from mentioning it, no matter how relevant it is. Anything else is just annoying. Don't you get how draining it is for the people around you? Don't you realize how exhausting it is to be reminded you have symptoms when it's not easy to see? But simultaneously, you rejudged if you go too long without mentioning your symptoms or conditions. That makes you a faker or an exaggerator or full of excuses when you do mention it. Convenient. How you only mention it when you absolutely can't hide it anymore because it's affecting your work, school, or social life. Remarkable how you never seem bothered by your symptoms until it's this big, dramatic thing. You did this task every day for a week without mentioning that symptom flaring up during it, but now you retelling me it's been affecting you the whole time. Sure Jan, sure. The double standard is ridiculous. There's no winning. At a certain point, you realize it's just a game not worth playing. If you meet someone with disability who is just ridiculously blunt about their symptoms, chances are they've had this realization. I cannot agree more. I probably understand my disability better than you and do not really want to know what your aunt's boyfriend's mother did with her condition to cure it. It is a chronic condition. I have tried your nonsense remedies years ago. It's tiresome to listen to you insist I try this miracle cure you just made up or saw on Facebook. I know doctors that give me better advice. Please just stop offering your uninformed opinions about my treatment. Edit. Wow. Thank you for the awards. This single post more than doubled my current karma. You are all awesome. I get cluster headaches. Severe hemispherical headaches that hit me twice a day, every day for about 1 month each year. I suffered under a misdiagnosis for 20 years and was even labeled a pill shopper at some emergency wards. Even when I come in and tell them I just need high flow oxygen, everyone assumes cluster headaches are just a simple migraine and roll out their snake oil and proven family cures. I have found my treatments and stick to them. It is not perfect, but it is my burden to bear. That I am sorry that I have to cancel plans or a schedule, or that I can't agree to do something in the future. It is not that I don't like you or don't want to spend time with you. Some days I just hurt too much. I literally had to go to counseling because of the guilt I was feeling about letting everyone in my life down. There is no need to guilt trip me. I'm already doing it to myself. I'm a paraplegic. I wish people understood that my wheelchair does not define me. Sure, I cannot go up downstairs or walk, but I'm more than that. I know it is the most identifiable feature of mine to describe to someone, but I'm more than that. Yeah, no. Do not get me wrong, I joke about it and do not mind close friends joking too, but random people defining me or thinking of me as the girl in the wheelchair does not always sit right. It is literally your legs. Or another one I like is you are just a human sitting on a chair. Not so exciting that way. I want to be active. I want to participate. I want to work. But I cannot. I'm frustrated every day that I cannot. I struggle with accepting my multiple disabilities every day. Staying home because of illness is not a holiday. I'm 33 and feel like life is mostly passing me by while I waste away on my couch or in my bed. So, do not be jealous of me because I do not have a job. I wish I did. I feel this. I'm 36 and I keep asking myself when I'm going to hit those milestones, meet somebody, marriage, buy a house, whatever. I do not really want to do most of those things. But I still feel guilt about being so out of sync with everyone else. Or even just all the fun hangouts that I had to leave halfway through. Or all the parties I left before I could get to know the cool people there. I'm married, but I barely get out of the house. Need my loving. I'm a lucky girl. Husband to help me do basic things. I'm supported by his income, etc. I often feel like a burden to others, no matter how many times they tell me it is okay. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.